SIGVE headquarters. Welcome everyone. My name is Spiff Whitfield and with me is good friend Scott Merrick, and we are part of the SIGVE Grand Poobah team. I think we should say maybe it's the dynamic duo. Tonight's episode is going to be a little we had a little change up in the fact that our guest, which was Kim Flack from PBS 8, is unfortunately in the midst of a grant writing extravaganza and can't break away. And if you've ever written a grant, which is, I'm going through the same thing right now, grants are, boy, they're a lot of work. It's like writing a thesis paper all over again, except for, it's the grade is a pass or a fail. So they're quite heavy duty work when you apply for some of these bigger ones. But so let's hope that Kim comes through on the grant. And actually, I didn't want to send out any cancellation notices really, because I've worked with this program, and it's the Mission US program, and I found it's really great, and I think it's really well done. It's well put together. There's a lot of collaboration. There's a lot of problem-solving activities within it. Great vocabulary review for early American history, and really just very engaging for kids. And I think I really can't.
History buff. No.
Yeah, well, I can't say enough nice things about it if you get a chance to jump on it. It is a free program. It is through PBS 13 out of New York City. And I really think they did it right when they went in to do this project. I think they went in with the full intention of putting together something that is powerful and dynamic. I think they've pretty much accomplished it. So if you're probably an elementary teacher, maybe early middle school teacher, and have an assignment of doing some U.S. history.
I think it'd be quite good for middle school. I'm looking at the website now, and I just popped it into our chat. It is http:// make sure you get 2 slashes, www.missionus.org, and there's a dash between mission and US.
Yeah, really, check it out. And again, if nothing else, if you're a teacher, I'll even bring it up here on the screen here. If you're a teacher of any of those grade levels, try it out yourself, and within there you can set up a free educator account. But even without setting that up, there is some fantastic just resources embedded into it. All primary source documents. So for those of you who have to do primary source, what they call document-based questions, we do that a lot here in New York State, where you give kids documents and have them try and read deeply into them, which for those Common Core folks out there, that's really what that's going to be a big emphasis, and an emphasis I think that's a powerful emphasis, I think, for digging into these documents, because all of
And
our
also good for
histories.
the
Yeah. Sorry, Scott.
They've really got, that's okay, they've got 2 missions going. One is mission 1 for Crown or Colony, and the other is the Flight to Freedom, which is all about slavery. And how powerful is that stuff? Kids go in and they can role play, they pick an avatar to be, and just explore it. Explore it on your own. It's cool stuff. And that's all she's going to get from us today, because she didn't show up.
Well, there's one other feature, Scott, that I know you'd appreciate, being the music man that you are. I know with the Crown or Colony one, there's actually you get a like a little flute is one of your kind of prizes, and then as you unlock pieces of the game, you get new pieces of music from that time period, and it plays like Rock Band. So with the little flute, you'll see the notes come scrolling down, and you actually have to play these classic, American folk songs right on there. And again, you can play. I think there's 3 different levels, so you can get really good at these song selections. So I love that connection that they put in there, because I think music is a powerful piece of history that we often leave behind, and I know that as a former elementary teacher, I'd often forget that, but it really should be one of the first things we do with history, because it really gives us a solid background as to the time period. So
Really, and it looks like also, I was poking around today in the mission too, the Flight to Freedom one, because it's new. And one of the elements that they have for reflection and analysis for the kids is photographs of actual slave quarters. Um, and how cool is that? They've gone into they've tapped into the graphic awareness and the analysis skills of the kids to sort of build this deep dive into history. Cool stuff.
yeah, like I said, I think it's a site that they did it, and they did it well, and they took powerful themes, and I think did it, certainly with an understanding of the age level that they're dealing with. But
Yeah, I see Roxy just came in. That's pretty cool.
hey, nice.
She'll be wandering over here. Hi, Roxy. Um, for Roxy, for the rest of you probably have heard. Kim Flack couldn't make it tonight because she's in a grant writing crunch, and so Andy and I are doing a little podcast sort of thing, recording this for the Andy and Scott show or something. What should we call it?
The Scott and Spiff show, I like. Scott and Spiff, I think it's.
Scott and Spiff show. Um, in case you missed it on the way in, there's a sign-up board for ISTE 2012, and we're using a new tool for this sign-up this year just because it's a new tool. It's whenisgood.net. If you haven't seen it, see it if you, as you leave tonight, walk around to the little wall directly behind you. It's on the column across from the ISTE feature. And there's 3 little buttons, each of which will take you to a different category of sign up for volunteering for ISTE in San Diego or in Second Life. Pick. It's up to you. And I guess that's a pretty good segue for Andy to talk about what we're doing in San Diego. Yes.
Yeah. San Diego should be, we're hoping to have it a really great opportunity this year. From what I've seen, and maybe for those of you who've been to San Diego and seen the convention center, all the playgrounds this year are going to be together. It's going to be one big happy playground area, and we have a corner that's just as you enter the ballroom. There's just one main ballroom, and so if you come into the main entrance, you just take a left, and the SIGVE playground is going to be there. We're going to be there on Monday from 8 to 4. And this year we really tried to put some sessions in that explored a whole host of different worlds, and really I think this year, for the most part, with the exception of possibly Lucas Gillespie, I think they're all going to be in San Diego. So our sessions are going to focus there, and
Lucas isn't.
he may be. He hasn't written back to me yet, so I'm just waiting for his response. I know that he has come in the past, so I'm hoping he'll be there. So
Yeah, because of the technologies that we use, it really doesn't matter now, does it? Although it's good to set face to face and get those hugs every year. That's why we go to ISTE.
yeah. Well, Lucas gave a really awesome presentation via Skype to talk about World of Warcraft and Minecraft that he's done. He did that for me at Nicegate, which is the ISTE affiliate in New York. And Lucas just gives a real nice, easygoing presentation. So
yeah, he's so natural, and he's so passionate about what he's doing, which leads me to question, what are the topics we're doing? I know that this year we're going to go rather deeper than we have in previous years. If you weren't there, we last year had 35 back-to-back half-hour presentations over 3 days, and it was quite the circus, but it really kind of worked pretty well, and worked well the same way the year before. This year, because of the demand for playground time from different SIGs, they have limited our playground to 1 day. And so we did something rather radical, and I think this was Andy's idea, and we decided to go deeper and have longer presentations during that 1 day. So how many presentations do we have, Andrew?
I'm trying to find it right now. I've got a couple Google accounts and I keep bouncing back and forth between them, so let me just grab the... Here it is.
The watered down web.
Oh, now I found last year's board. Plus they threw me off with Google Drive rather than Google Documents now, so I keep looking for Google Docs and Google Drive now.
Hey, I'm gonna leave it to you. I've got to take this phone call because we're
Okay.
in our last day of the session, and I've got a teacher calling. Be right back.
Okay.
Hey, hang on one sec.
Alright, so here is our presentations for this year. I've got the schedule right now. Our first presentation is going to be Minerva Lourdes, sorry. And her presentation is So You Want to Teach in Second Life, First Things First. So that's going to be our first presentation, and aptly named, I think. Then we're going to have our good friend Kay Novak and Chris Lux, also known as Abacus, and Kay Von Zanovka here in Second Life, but they'll be in World in San Diego, and they're going to talk about virtual realities, mean multiple modalities. And if you haven't been keeping track of Kay these days, she and Abacus and a whole host of others, including Grid Jumper, our illustrious producer, they've been doing some really awesome stuff, from machinima stuff to MOOCs, which are massive online open courses. And she also has a self-study that we can talk about, and maybe throw out that information as well, because some really, I think, powerful learning tie-ins that go together with what we're doing here. And I think Kay's really just had some really awesome ideas, and she's putting it out there, and we'll have to bring out the links for you. So Kay and Abacus are going to be our second presentation.
Got the ARG working too, right?
Yeah, can you talk about that? Talk a little bit about that.
Can I talk about it?
Yeah.
No. I don't know much about it. I've never really done an ARG. But,
I haven't either.
I'm not even sure what it stands for, but I'm Googling it right now, so I'll probably have it by the time you come up with it. It is an online game that is both alternate reality game, and Wikipedia says that it is, come on bandwidth, an interactive narrative that uses the real world as a platform and uses transmedia to deliver a story that may be altered by participants' ideas or actions. So it develops as it goes, and she's got a group of people working on setting one of those up that I think will culminate at ISTE in San Diego, which looks freaking fascinating to me. Let me see if I can find her link to it.
I put the link down from the presentation schedule as it stands right now, and it's subject to some minor changes, but I think we're in pretty good shape. We're going to see after Kay's presentation, Kay and Abacus, we're going to have Bron Stuckey, and everybody knows Bron, and Bron's going to do a couple presentations, and they're going to be on two different worlds, so it's I think she's our only double presenter, but she's doing two different things, and both of them are powerful stuff. So we've got her first presentation is going to be on Minecraft, and I've got to tell you, I just saw, and I know, Scott, you've worked a little bit more with Minecraft. We had a presentation by a little boy. One of my colleagues' sons came in and did it, and it was just, I was fascinated.
Oh, that's the way to do it.
It is. Well, what I was fascinated by is he was actually walking through a problem-solving activity that he was doing, which was creating a kind of roller coaster that was supposed to go off a cliff and land into a pond. and it was, you know, it was hitting rocks, and he was just on a full display of problem solving and removing blocks and updating things and putting together new pieces of track. I was mesmerized by him just as much as the game, and it really convinced me of how powerful Minecraft can be for problem solving and all those things. But what are your thoughts, Scott, on Minecraft and what's been going on?
And that's a great story, the whole Minecraft story about how it was like it's an indie game, really. I mean, it was created independent of any kind of a big commercial game builder, and out of Germany, if I'm not mistaken, right? And it was created to be simple, and it just like exploded. Oh, you see times. Oh, the date I see your date for the playground is the 25th. It's on Monday, so it's 8 to 4 on the 25th.
Yeah, sorry about that. That's the second person who asked me. Yep, so the playground will be the 25th, so come on down. Jules,
Well, here's something from Wikipedia, you guys. Minecraft was developed for about a week before its public release on May 17, 2009, on an open source forum. And it just like went absolutely crazy. It got several 100,000 sales in alpha release. That's so cool. And anybody can do that if they have the idea and the wherewithal, right? Some of these kids that are getting so excited about this are gonna come up with some other notion we haven't even thought about and do that kind of thing. That's cool.
yeah, I think you know, engagement is the key, the operative word with it, and this little guy was actively engaged in it. So continuing on with our schedule, and I did put the date in there. We do have we have Scott coming up after that, and he's going to talk about Kitely, and maybe you can give us a preview of your presentation, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, if you haven't seen Kitely, you should. It's just kitely.com, and it's virtual worlds on demand. Instead of living on hardware servers like the, you know, however many tens of thousands servers in that Texas server farm that Linden Lab keeps their virtual worlds on, the Kitely worlds reside in Amazon cloud servers, which means that when they're not inhabited, they don't exist. I hope you're with me, and we'll talk more about this in San Diego. But it's a very cool, cost-saving concept, and this is a group in Israel who have come up with this and are pursuing it and making it public and developing really pretty rapidly new features. They just added groups, and initially you could only log in through Facebook, but they're working on other login means so that it becomes more education friendly. They're very approachable. I think, Rosie, I think you were at that group where Elon Tochner is the CEO of Kitely, came in and chatted with us. That was cool. That was like in the Adirondack chairs, and he held forth fairly profusely. It was like a mini speaker series, and he likes to share, and that's why he's out there. But I've been working myself on creating an education space, and I'm hoping finally, in my long career of working in this stuff, to get teachers and students in this summer, at least one teacher and at least his class of students in our summer session. And it's real fun. I mean, if you're on Facebook and you're my friend, ask for a and if you're not, ask for friendship. But if you're the group is Scott Merrick's Kitely, and if you're in that group, you can go to kitely.com and log in and visit the island that I'm working on. So hopefully when they get the email whitelisting going.
So Scott, when you go into that group, when you click on your page, you use Second Life to go in there, or are you using your browser?
Oh, cool! This new feature they just added. You can have multiple. I don't know about you guys. I've got like 15 or 20 different clients on my on my laptop, and I really ought to clean it off. But you go in and you log in, and when you do, you should see the worlds that you can access, and there are public worlds that you can visit too. But I'm going to pop you this URL into chat. Just click that, it will fire up Kitely. But what I was starting to say is that you can set in your settings, once you're logged in, you can set which browser opens up for Kitely. And you can set it to automatically open when you click Enter World in the Kitely interface. So they've put a lot of thought into this and making it fairly user-friendly and easy. And as an educator, you can back up your complete world in a .oar file. I hope I'm not talking too far above anybody's noggin. But you can save that to your computer and use it later in an open simulator that you create locally. So, and there's just a lot of really fun, good benefits to exploring Kitely. So there you go. Hopefully I can get Elon to come in and chat with us too during our presentation, because he can talk about it a lot better than I can, and talk about what they've got in mind for future development. So that's my little mini spiel. Now we can go to lunch, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We'll have to get some good recommendations for food. Yeah, this year we've actually got a... Jules has a question. Go for it.
What, Jules? Use your voice.
So going back to what Spiff asked, I've tried to access your link several times.
Mm-hmm.
Is it supposed to open in a browser or through a viewer?
It should fire up a viewer, and once you're logged in, Jules, go to your click on your name in the top right corner, and you'll be able to go to your settings. And you go to your settings and you set. I'm looking at it right now in another on another monitor. You can check Use Kitely plugin to launch the viewer automatically, and in the drop-down menu below that, you see the viewers that are on your machine that Kitely supports. And on mine, it's the Second Life viewer and Firestorm. And I clicked Firestorm. And so when I click Open World, it fires up the Firestorm client, and there I am. Pops in all the default, all the URI that you need to put in for the settings. It's there. And we can meet, maybe this weekend or something, we can get together and I can walk you through that.
Okay, thanks.
If it requires some sharing desktop or something, we can do that with join.me.
All right, thanks.
Okay. So we go to lunch, and lunch is good, yum yum.
Yeah, that'll give us a time to catch our breath, hopefully. And then we're going to go to... then we've got Gord. Yeah, Gord Holden. And he's going to talk about all the great stuff he's been doing in active worlds. And Scott, maybe you can talk about it. And Gord has a really nice little ning. I'm sure you're a member of it, Scott. Maybe we can put that into chat.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
yeah, why don't you search for it while I'm chatting real quick?
Okay. Yeah.
I'll only chat for a minute, but I will tell you that Gordon is in Vancouver, British Columbia, and he's in a school with 8,000 students. Hello? 8,000 students, and it's a kind of a private school. Things work differently in Canada. The private schools are publicly funded. And that's probably a discussion all in itself. But he's got kids in his build and active worlds, and he's built out this if you contact him, he'll actually give you a tour, and I'm sure he'll give us a tour in San Diego and over a stream. He's got it set up so that there's like a French city, and he's working on languages in addition to other things. But when you've gone through this sort of French city and had all this wonderful language experience, if you get to a certain level, you can move to another place in his build where you can actually fly. And those students in the first level can't fly, but they can see students flying in the other level. So it's an incredible motivator. And he's got just a rich, rich world built out, and plans for building it out even more. He has the ear of the Minister of Education for British Columbia, which is a pretty cool deal because he's got buy-in from powerful people there. So, you know, watching him and hearing him, impassioned as he is about what he's doing, will be a cool thing. Then we go to Braun, right?
Yeah, Sholi O just said kids in Gord School can attend almost totally virtually, which is pretty wild. And I put in our viewer behind us his immersive technology for learning Ning, which is pretty nice. He does a lot of stuff there. I wish I could spend more time looking at a lot of the posts, but and I also put it down in chat, so if you didn't see that, immersive technology, the number 4 learning.ning.com.
You wanna read that URL since we're recording for audio?
Sure.
And video?
It's immersive technology, the number 4 learning.ning.com. So that'll take you to his thing, and it is a nice...
Yeah, he's got a couple of other things going too, but look at these pictures. If you've clicked on this object behind us, you can see that he's got pictures cycling here. He's got a lot of stuff going. So Gord's going to be great. And one of the things he has going, the Minister of Education in British Columbia purportedly has told him that every teacher, every child in British Columbia will have access to Quest Atlantis, and they will be able to choose which teachers they work with. And if you're not a teacher who is trained in Quest Atlantis, you might be looking toward your other alternatives for working. So really exciting stuff, and it's that's my segue to talk.
Yeah, that's a great segue to talk to Braun's second presentation is going to be about Quest Atlantis, and I'm sure you've already heard about Quest Atlantis, but it really is one of the, I think it's the gold standard, I think, for a lot of virtual environment technology, and certainly as I worked with OpenSim environments, I kind of had that as my standard of these are the elements that need to be a part of a good virtual environment education system, and they've got it all. They've got, you know, good quality, you know, graphics, work, gaming systems that are, you know, quality and education focused. It's just it really is, I think, a very well put together learning system.
Yeah, and it's built on the Active Worlds platform, which is the one that Gord is using. And if you were at ISTE in Denver, you might remember that the founder of Quest Atlantis, and I'm trying to remember his name.
Sasha Barup, I think, right? Sasha?
What?
Sasha Barup?
Yeah. Who has got, if you're trying to win over other educators to gaming and virtual worlds, he's got some amazing academic scholarly papers. I'm going to look for that right now so that I can pop that into our URL chat. But he spoke with us at length in Denver and presented a lot of his foundational theories and sort of earth-shattering theories about the impact of gaming. His favorite paper that I recall that comes to mind is Do Your Homework and Eat Your Vegetables, which is about trying to bring the play back into learning.
Yeah, his research is scholarly, yet it's very readable. It doesn't come off as trying to be too presumptuous or anything like that. It's just right down the middle. Good, good stuff for those of us who are in the virtual environments for learning.
Now, I will add to that the last I heard, which was in Philadelphia, Quest Atlantis was moving to Arizona because they had reached an impasse with Indiana University as its original host. So I'm interested in learning how all that has worked out. I know it's going strong, certainly because of news like what we hear from Gord, but really worth listening to that 2 p.m.
Sholio just put in chat that Sasha has moved to Arizona State.
We have another Minecraft. Excellent. And WoW in school. So it's Minecraft and World of Warcraft.
Yeah, and that's going to be Lucas. And again, he can take his presentations in a lot of different directions, but what I love about Lucas's stuff is he gives you a solid background, and he gives you a lot of research base, and really kind of walks you through the reasons why we do this stuff. Why are these games engaging, and what we can do. And I've seen Lucas present quite a few times. Yeah. He talks a lot about Prensky's work. If you haven't read any of Mark Prensky's stuff, I just finished recently Don't Bother Me, Mom, I'm Learning, which I thought was very much... Yeah, I thought it was very much similar to what I was saying about Lucas. He just presents it in a really logical, clear-cut way that, to me, guides me through where I want to be. Oh, sorry. Voice is coming and going. But yeah, Prensky's work is really smooth, I think.
And then down at the bottom of this list, I don't know if you're looking at it, but the schedule for SIGVE Playground 2012 has Andy calls her Inez, I call her Inez, but Puspita, who's doing some fantastic work in Indonesia. And Fleeptook, of course, is still going strong with University of Cincinnati Virtual World. So those are a couple of stand-ins that we hope to have in the background, in the bullpen for in case things fail like they've failed tonight. But I don't feel like it's a failure tonight.
No, I think it was pretty fortunate stuff. And I think what was much needed, that we needed to kind of talk about San Diego and ISTE 2012. So I think this was a fortunate circumstance.
Andy, can pop this I'm going to pop you in a URL.
Okay.
Very good. That's okay. Yeah, no, the Prezzo is you're seeing it. It's me and Andy, and we're recording this for the podcast. We're wanting to put together a podcast for SIGVE, so this is sort of an experimental thing, and I'll play us out with mandolin like I played us in and see how that works. I popped the URL into chat here, and it's whenisgood.net, whenisgood.net/ISTE SIGVE 2012, and this is a new tool that I'm hoping to gather volunteers in. In the past we've used Google Docs and forums and that sort of thing, but this just looked like fun. So those of you who know me know I'm all about the fun, so I thought I'd give this a try. And as you leave tonight, if you walk out like you're walking out of an auditorium and look around the corner to your left, there's an object that has 3 buttons, And this link is one of them. And the other two links would be links to this link is for helping out in the playground in San Diego physically. And then there's another link for helping out in Second Life, and just in case you're not going to San Diego or you're in another presentation and you feel like you participate. And the third link is for helping out with the SIGVE Open House Sunday. And we need some human beings to mention the, or to person the booth that we'll have during the SIG Fair, or what are they calling it, Andy? Not a SIG Fair.
Oh yeah, the poster sessions, or
but that's on Sunday.
Social
like 3
maybe.
to 5 or something.
The SIG
Dates
social
and times. Yeah, dates and times are on the When Is Good pages. So you just paint in whatever hours you might be available to help. It's dead simple. And then if you set it up, which I have, I'll be able to go in and see a list of who's available when, and from there I'll build a schedule of who's doing what. And oddly enough, my wife called my attention to that. You know, I've used doodle.com to set meetings in the past, and there's a new one I heard about last week called Book Me, but I'm kind of like this. When is good? You just go paint it.
Very cool. Sholio came in a little late and missed our little JAG on Mission US, which was supposed to be our topic of conversation, so I'll just revisit it for a moment for him, and grateful thanks for coming on out tonight. But Mission US is from PBS, and let's see, 13 out of New York City, the television station, and really an awesome early American history section. The first mission is on the Boston Massacre, so kids walk through a role play scenario in that, and they get to choose which direction they go based on their choices. And then the second mission just came out in January, and it is about the Underground Railroad. So definitely more upper elementary, maybe lower middle school, but kids love it. There's built-in music piece to it, tons of great resources, and I've seen kids engaged in it, and believe me, they will be actively involved, and again, learning the things that we like, which is vocabulary, deep understandings of historical documents and events, and it's a very well put together virtual gaming environment. I would say it's probably geared towards 4th, 5th graders, so what is that, 10, 11 year olds, and that's based on content. Certainly you could probably go
Late elementary, early middle,
toward 3rd and take it up to probably 7th. You know, 8th grade kids would probably get a pretty good kick out of it too. And the resources, like I said, even if you're an educator and you go into the educator resources area, you'll get tons of stuff you could use in your classroom just on its own without even using the environment. So
yeah, and there's advanced lessons, pre lessons, and I mean, it's really nicely fleshed out.
yeah, it's free too, so jump on it.
Ooh, the F word.
Okay, let's maybe we can talk a little bit about case self-study. Maybe throw that out there, because I think that's an important Kay's doing some really good stuff, and I think the self-study, she's really going to roll it out again in San Diego to really try and get some buy-in on it. But I think that's going to be important for us as educators and virtual environment enthusiasts. So let me grab that link, and Scott, go on a JAG.
I'm looking for a link right now. She's put some things on the wiki on a page called Changes, and I'm looking for it right now.
Okay, well, he's looking for that. Just keep in mind, our events are going to be the virtual environment playground on the 25th. Also, that evening at 5:30 to 6:45 Pacific time. We're going to have the Birds of a Feather gathering. So please join us for that. And then on Tuesday, we're going to have the Machinima Fest from 5:30 to 7:30. So those are our big events. So hope you can make it if you're in San Diego. And if not, we're going to be broadcasting them here. So we'll have a Ustream set up here that you can come and hang out and be a part of the conference. I will put that the SIGVE wiki space in here.
Yeah, Augusta is asking what is the URL for the wiki you had up there, the SIGVE one? Yes,
Yep.
it's.
I'll grab it.
Put it on. There, I just popped it back in. It's sigve.st.wikispaces.net, and I'm looking for if you go into SIG. Almost there. Here we go.
Okay. While Scott's working through that, first of all, I want to just send out a couple quick thanks. If you haven't been here in a few, maybe a week or so, Serena just put up our just awesome background scenery, which, as I was saying before,
I still don't know how she did that. It's off the sim.
Yeah, I think she's got some special connections with Edu Islands and Fleet, which we're all for. But it's a beautiful area just to come and hang out. And if you want to have a discussion meeting up above, there's a table that works kind of like one of those Misty tables. So the more people that sit, the bigger it gets. But it's actually rectangular. Yeah, it's rectangular. So if you want to have kind of a
so funny. She's like, did we get rid of the Misty tool table because it's so ugly? And she went out and found this one.
Yeah.
It's way. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, that's Serena.
Maybe when I'll go upstairs and be fun.
Yeah. So I mean, this is really a comfy spot, and I really, like I said, I was telling Scott earlier, I like coming here and just turning the chill music on and having a seat. And I think if you look at our board over there, we're getting, pretty
Yeah, it's
good.
funny. We had a whole group of newbies in from. Sadly, didn't get the college that they were at, but they were instructional designers in an instructional design course. But they've just come into Second Life, and they're all like bumping into walls and falling into the floor and all that sort of stuff that newbies do. But I mean, if you look, I was just in here a couple days ago, well, yesterday, and we were about to hit the 500 mark, and I'm scrolling over with my Zoom here, and we're at 552 now. We've had 23 visitors today, so that's it's like Andy said, something about all the big changes we've gone through lately has kicked the hornet's nest. So we're the place now.
Yeah, well, and it's like I said, it feels like a comfortable spot, and again, we've seen definitely people coming through on a regular basis, which is nice to see. And we've even had I've seen a school from China came in and was doing presentations here, and I was loving it. I just sat down and tried to pick out the language a little bit, and so we're getting some people.
Yeah, we may actually have to think about a scheduling tool.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping we're forced to do that.
Yeah, I think that would probably be beneficial. I think that would definitely be beneficial.
Still searching for the pics.
Hey, Rosie and Bob, do you want to talk about veg?
Yeah,
give us an update on veg?
Come up here and sit. I'll go
Yeah.
down to the audience.
Feel free to use some voice too.
Here, I'll sit next to Jules. Be dangerous though, I don't know. Ah. Is she here?
Okay. BJ's trying to get some audio.
Is that working?
Yeah, we can hear
Anybody
you.
hear
Yes.
me?
So BJ, tell us about veg
Well-
and what's new and exciting.
At this point, everything is iffy, but we're going to do our very best to get one last issue out before San Diego. It's going to be a monumental effort if we're able to pull it off, but we've decided it would be great to be able to do that. We're also hoping that we can get some kind of either peel-off stickers or something that has veg as a logo in order to have some of those to me stand up and Rosie can sit down here.
Okay, let's talk
I'll
about
leave that
that.
too. I went through an imprint place that had pretty good deals on some basic imprint things. So I'm going to see what we can come up with to kind of get veg a boost beyond just the folks that kind of hang around the playground. And hopefully if people are wearing these and folks beyond the playground see it, we'll get some people in, and maybe if they take a look at veg, they'll come out to actually take a look at some of the virtual environments that we talk about in some of the articles.
Excellent.
Do
Well,
you
I
have
think
anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, Shirley. Veg is online. Let me get you the link for it.
I think maybe it's too late for this year, but maybe in San Antonio we could have capes with veg on the back.
Nice.
Superhero cape.
Oh my god, I'm still literally there. Hey, sorry guys. Can you hear me now?
Oh,
I'm
yep.
coming out of BJ's mic instead of mine. I was out in Kittley, and I think I may still be logged in out there, and so maybe that's why my mic's not working out here. I'm not sure because it should be working, but I took you
sound
up on
great.
that, Scott. Good. Coming out of BJ. I took you up on that, so I think he may be coming in here. I told him that I was going to leave and come in here. Created my own land, and then he showed up. Whatever his name is. Who's the I have to go back out here and see if I
Flea?
can find his LinkedIn that he gave me. Name I've lost it, but anyway, so he may show up here because I said I was going to be here. But veg, yes, we need to get the next issue of veg out. I found an architect that is going to be our key person that we're going to do the interview with. He's got some amazing builds, and so we're going to talk to him. I just haven't gotten the questions out to him because I don't know if he knew, but had surgery yesterday, so I've been frantically typing away on teacher evaluations. It was on my hand, so I could get a lot of my typing done, and also working at the state level on rubrics for principal evaluation. I'm one of a couple principals that are working with the State Department and key players around the state to get the new principal evaluation, teacher evaluation system in place before July 1st. So we're in the fast track on that one. So it's taken a lot of my time, but I'm home again tomorrow, and so hopefully I'll be off my pain medicine tomorrow, and my finger won't be hurting as bad as it does now. But I will try to get messages out to people about getting articles for veg and getting something in. I know Kay's going to put some information in about the self-study, and we're trying to come up with some kind of something that we can do to kick it off, like a survey that we'll be asking people for during the playground. The problem for me is that coming in as the chairperson, or I will be at the end of this conference for SIG and Min, and having our SIG and Min stuff on Monday, the same as the playground, you'll see me in and out kind of sparsely. So that makes it a little more difficult for me, but we want to ask people and get the self-study started, and we're trying to figure out some kind of a, I don't know, like we did for Why Are You Here, but something along those lines for the self-study to come out as kind of a contest thing that we can get going and offer people, you know, an incentive so that we can get more people involved in helping us put the self-study together, and at least, if nothing else, getting people's names so that we can come back and contact those people for more information and learn as much as we can about what people are doing out in Second Life and other virtual worlds, why they're here, what advantages that they see, just kind of getting the what's happened before and the direction of where we're going in the future pieces, I think, for the self-study. So that piece is coming out. We need anything that people have in VEG from the Virtual World's Best Practices in Education Conference, because the last issue was before the conference, and now one of the things I want to do is talk about how it was epic, and I want to put something big on there about how we crashed the sim for the social, and I don't think you can get much more epic than that for the final hoo-ha when we let off the fireworks and had the Beatles playing. So I think that's wonderful. But anything else that you guys can think of that we want to put into VEG, let me know. Send it my way. Pictures, I don't know, other things that are happening. Hopefully I was just out with Kitterly, and we can get some articles. You know, Scott, if you want to do something, and if he does, we can put them both in, you know, with the things that you're doing, and then his perspective of what it is and that kind of thing. So I'd love to get more of the other virtual worlds involved in VEG.
Excellent.
Anything else you want to know about VEG?
Well, it came to mind that, you know, you ascending to the throne of SIG admin and me moving into the chair of the professional development for SIGOL, we're in a position like maybe not many other SIG, and exactly. I like that.
Well, and we also have Rorik, who is now with the SIG-ML, and Kay, I think, is getting really involved with mobile learning as well. So that's another in.
Yeah, I think we need to like look at that and get that information in front of our faces to see who's doing what in other SIGs, because that might be some interesting stuff. I know that SIGOL has already talked about doing some professional development for SIGOL inside Second Life.
I love you.
I think that's wonderful, and I would love, well, you know, I've been trying to get the administrators in for a long time, and I think they're going to be like the last standout group, but I you know, I'm going to bring them kicking and screaming in, but I do think that we can do some things like that. We also have still what used to be Edu Island 8, it's now Edovation Island, and we're trying to put that together. We have Kaz has his bandstand over there, and he's leaving it up so that anytime we want to have, you know, any kind of a dance or something, we can do something there. Serena's helping us to put together buildings. BJ and I are still looking for, I don't know, some other kinds of things that we want to put out there. We're looking, I want to have, I don't know if you've been to Book Island, but Book Island is a place for writers, and I love it there just because they've got a place where different authors can set up their own little shops and promote their books and things, and I would love to have spaces like that people who are educators could rent and, you know, put up their little office space, whatever they want to do, and have a place to rent where people could come to, and then you have like your grounds out around that are common grounds. So if you are part of the community, you could then use, like if we had an auditorium, you could, you know, sign up to use the auditorium, or if you wanted to use a conference room, you could sign up to do that. But that might be a way for us to, as you know, Bob, BJ and I put together this seed money to try to see if we could keep an island going, and it might be a way for us to keep it a bigger island space going for all of us to use and share. So something else that I hope we can talk about when we get to ISTE face to face, since it hasn't happened since we took it over, but trying to figure out what would work for people, or if people are even still interested.
I think everybody in this room is watching that with real interest to see where that's going. And,
Yeah, well,
envying you for your initiative and dedication.
Well, I just think if we, if we model it off of like Book Island or something, because even over there, if you want to run a space, it's not real expensive, and I think the more people that we get to come on board, it's not to make any money. It's just to keep us going, so that as we want to bring all these different groups in, you talk about all the different SIG groups and people, just to have a place for meeting and to do the work that we want to do, and to share place in a way to share the work. Right now we've left up most of the stuff that we had from the conference. In fact, Izzy's here. I still have his tea house out there. I go over and sit there every once in a while because I think it was such a great spot, but just to meditate in the morning. And he's laughing at me, but I just want a place where educators can come and share the work that they're doing, the important work that we're doing, and try to get as many people in and engaged in learning, not just in Second Life, but in other virtual worlds, so that when in fact things do take off, we're ready to lead the way and people are comfortable with the work that we're doing. But I also hope that it will change the way that we're teaching and the things that are happening in schools, because I get so frustrated. I told you I was working on the state level, putting together the principal evaluation, but in Connecticut, we've just written a waiver to get away from No Child Left Behind and the testing, which used to be to the proficient level, and we've raised the bar now to make all of our students reach goal level, which is higher than the proficient level, on the testing that we're doing that no longer works with the new Common Core standards, and who knows what's going to happen. It's just kind of like throw all your cards up in the air and let them fall wherever they may, I think. That's
really
kind of how I'm starting to feel.
Thank you for sharing all of that. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, probably more than I should have, huh? No, it's just we really have to get smart at what we're expecting our kids to learn and be able to do and know, and that there's more to school and life than just all of this test. We really need to find ways to get our kids out collaborating and solving real world problems. And a couple of things at my school that are really exciting is that we the teachers at my school have found Skype, and they're starting to do share book reading, so that they're reading the same book with another class either across our district, or we have some across our state, and it's so exciting to see that kind of thing picking up. Haven't got them into virtual environments yet, but who knows, maybe someday.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to veg. I will put something out tomorrow, and hopefully we will get the articles, because one way or the other, if we have 2 pages or 100, we will be putting out the next issue of Veg before we get to San Diego.
Which is hint, if you write something, you'll likely get published.
Exactly. Doesn't take much, we'll help you.
Well, I can't wait to see you guys in San Diego. I'm all buzzed about San Diego. And,
yeah, so are we.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time.
I guess we're sneaking up on, we've gone over the 8 o'clock hour, and I guess we're going to close this down and try to keep it to a 1-hour podcast. Spiff?
Yeah, I think we're ready to wind things down, and I want to thank, first of all, everyone for coming. I want to thank, I think we filled in a pretty good hour with our canceled speaker, so, and actually I think we talked about some important stuff, so. And thanks,
If you're listening to this, thanks for canceling.
And I will post this out. I think we'll maybe go back to a YouTube channel and get some good stuff. So thanks, everybody. Hope to see you in San Diego. And Scott's going to take us out with a little ukulele playing. Good night, everyone. Good night.